Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our parental discussion on the flat Earth theory. We have a diverse planet of experts and critics. Let's start with our first speaker, Angel.
Thank you. As the Asians, I believe the evidence overwhelmingly supports the fact that the Earth is novel, spare, from satellite imaginary to ships descending over horizon. There's word of the vision that demonstrates the Earth's shape.
I disagree. I believe the Earth is flat and there's evidence to support this perspective. For example, when I look out at the horizon, I don't see the curvature of the Earth.
But, Luca, the curvature of the Earth is gradual and not visible to the naked eye. The Earth is a large planet, and its curvature is very subtle. Additionally, the atmosphere is can't distort our perception of reality.
I think it's interesting that we are having the discussion as a philosopher. I'm interested in the implication of the beliefs about the early shapes. Who do we define to it in this context?
Recall the ideal of a flat Earth as being distributed from ancient Greeks to modern times. We made significant progress in understanding the Earth's shape. The evidence from astronomy, geology, and physics all supports the fact that the Earth is an oblate experiment.
But what about the lack of visible curvature? Doesn't that suggest that the Earth might be flat?
Not necessary, it's a major indicator. The curvature is rather and not visible to one's eye. We also have numerous satellites in orbit around Earth that have images, its shape and provide exclusive evidence of the special nature.
And that about the way ships disappear over the horizon. Doesn't that suggest that Earth is curved?
I think that's just an optical illusion. The atmosphere can distort our perception of reality, making it seem like the ship is dis- disappearing over the horizon.
I think it's interesting that we are relying on our senses to determine the shape of the early, but our sense can be deceived. Perhaps we should rely on science's evidence and observation instead.
Absolutely, the scientific method and allowed us to make significant progress in understanding the world around us by relying on evidence and observation. We will be able to develop a much more accurate understanding of the Earth's shape. To question from the audience: how do you respond to the claim that the government is hiding the true shape of the Earth?
I think that's the compromise theory we note. Anyways, in fact, there's no evidence to support claim that the government is
I think it's essential to rely on scientific evidence and observation to understand gravity. The evidence from physics and astronomy supports the fact that gravity is a force that pulls objects towards each other.
And what about the physiological implication of blink in a conspiracy theory? Doesn't that require a central level of truth in its force?
Historically, conspiracy theories have often been used to explain complex phenomena that people don't understand, but in this case, the evidence from science and observation provides a much more plausible explanation for the Earth shape. Thank you, panelists, for your talks. Let's go continue the discussion. What about the role of gravity in determining the Earth's shape? Don't they affect the objects fall towards the center of the Earth suggest that it's flat? Historical or understanding
Actually, the fact that objects of the tools the center of the Earth shows that it's a sphere. Gravity pulls the objects to the somewhere center of mass, which is considered with a special shape.
of gravity has evolved significantly from Newton's law of universal gravitation to Einstein's theory of general relativity. We be made significant progress in understanding the nature of gravity and its role in shaping the universe. Thank you, you panelists, for your talks. Let's conclude the discussion.
But what about the idea that gravity is an illusion? Maybe it's not force that pulls objects towards the center of the earth, but rather something else entirely.